What's up, you guys? I want to make a video on why and how I dropped out, the story of me dropping out. So I'm gonna drive to the Tesla Supercharger right now because I gotta charge my car, and let's get into it. So I was trying to think what's a good spot to film this video, and I thought, you know, I'm already going to charge my Tesla today, might as well do it while I'm charging my car. So I'm gonna do it while I'm charging my Tesla. What's up? So I was gonna film this video in the front seat, but I think the back seat just makes more sense. The lighting's a bit better and I have more room. I like having room. So let's talk, guys. This is the story of why and kind of how I dropped out of high school. I just want to preface this whole story and start off saying 3 key points. I dropped out and left high school, and I could have gone to another school. I just decided not to. Secondly, I'm 18 years old right now. I left high school when I was a sophomore. Right now I'm technically a freshman in college, so I dropped out 3-ish years ago, 2.5 years ago, right the end of my sophomore year. The last thing is, understand that I do not condone dropping out at all. It is a extremely risky thing to do, and I don't recommend anyone else doing it. I was just put in a certain situation where it was gonna be kind of not a challenge, but it was gonna be out of the way for me to stay in school. So unless you have a really good idea or a really good game plan, you should not leave high school. But very rarely it is a good move. If I look at myself 2 years ago and, you know, I was talking to myself, I would tell myself not to drop out. It was just too risky. I didn't have enough going for me. But looking back now, it ended up working out. You know, over time I learned, tried and failed, and now it's working out. So let's talk about the story of me dropping out of high school. It dates all the way back to 2016 when I was a freshman in high school. Super excited. I loved school. I loved the whole social aspect of it. I knew a bunch of people. I was friends with a bunch of people. I wasn't really too picky on my grades, so I wouldn't really care if I got a bad grade on a test. I would just enjoy school, have fun, you know, do dumb shit. The year kind of flies by. A lot of fun moments, a lot of memories, a lot of new friends, old friends, lost friends. But one kind of key factor in the story that I'm going to talk about freshman year is I made some bad decisions with, you know, a couple other kids, and I was already not the best kid. You know, the school didn't love me. Academically, I wasn't really shining, and overall, I just wasn't that A+ perfect student. Teachers and principals, some of them at least, aren't gonna love me and aren't gonna like that. But also I did have some teachers who, you know, looked past that and looked at me for my personality and understood that school just wasn't my strong suit. One thing led to another, and I was pretty much labeled as a kid who was involved with bad things. I wasn't doing anything crazy illegal, but I was viewed as a bad kid. And the school didn't like that. So, you know, the year kind of flew by. I was just trying to stay under the radar, just trying to have fun, do me, and yeah, I didn't want to get in trouble. I was trying to not get in trouble. Overall, you know, just the one big thing, you know, I threw a party and the school didn't like that. And it ended up just putting a bad rep under my name. Going into sophomore year, I was pretty much told that I gotta change my ways. I gotta become a better student, get better grades, and I had to sign a contract. I'm not gonna show the contract here, but I do have a picture of it. I think that showing the contract here is a little rude to the school, and I have no hard feelings to the school. And yeah, I signed this contract pretty much stating I have to get good grades, I can't be a bad kid, I can't go to parties, I can't drink, I can't throw parties, and just like I need to be a perfect kid. And the punishments were pretty severe. I remember it was, if I get 2 C's at the end of a semester, I got a lunch detention. And then furthermore, if I got 2 lunch detentions, I get an after school detention, 2 after school detentions, I get a suspension, and then if I get suspended twice, I'm expelled. So it was pretty much a slippery slope, and I really couldn't get in trouble. First 6 months of the year, I was a good kid. To be honest, it was really a pain. It didn't feel like me. It felt like I was being controlled, and I hated that. And this is where my stigma of not liking school started, and where I really just started hating it. And later on in the year, right, we got into the 2nd semester, I started falling behind. I started kind of saying, screw this, and not wanting to keep up. And that's when I launched my first e-commerce store and just slowly started making money on the side. You know, I've always been an entrepreneurial kid. I used to sell hoverboards when I was in 7th grade. I was buying them for $200 on Alibaba, flipping them for $400. I've always been an entrepreneurial kid. It was early 2018 that I started my first dropshipping store in the 2nd semester of my sophomore year. And that's when stuff started taking a big downfall. As I was focusing more and more on my store, I was actually starting to fall behind really badly in school. And I could tell that the principals and the teachers who knew about my contract stopped not caring. Almost like they knew I was breaking some of the rules and knew I was gonna get kicked out at the end of the year. One thing led to another, and realistically, I knew to myself, unless I seriously stepped up, I wasn't gonna be able to come back next year, and the school was gonna ask me to leave. So with around 2 months of school left, I just went off the wall. All homework I stopped doing, tests, quizzes I didn't care about, and in general, I was just a very, very bad student. Looking back, was that the right move? No. I shouldn't have had all my focus on my dropshipping store. And honestly, I had the time to handle school too. I was just a bit lazy, and the only thing I thought mattered was my dropshipping store, because that's where money was being made. I didn't see a direct ROI in school. Looking back now, actually, freshman year, I didn't even take my finals. A couple of the finals I only took a bit of and then walked out, especially for the classes that I didn't see matter. I remember I walked into one of my finals, I took the paper, I sat down at the desk and I was about to start. I looked up at the teacher, I got up and handed it back and said I'm not doing it. And I left school and went home after 20 minutes of being there. You know, to look back and think of that, I don't 100% know why I didn't take it. The main reason I could think is that I just really didn't see a reason to. I didn't see what it was bringing me. I just saw everyone else was doing it, and I think that's the whole issue with school right now, is that there's no actual reason we do it. We just do it because everyone else does it. You know, it's to get into college, but then why are you in college? You know, you're not learning anything that you're actually using. You're just doing it because everyone else is doing it, and that isn't a bad thing. School isn't a bad thing. It's really, really good because it's structure. A lot of kids and a lot of people need structure. You need a job, you need a boss to listen to, because if you don't, you're gonna go off the wire. Most people don't have the power and don't have the intuition and drive to handle their day-to-day, to be productive, to get up early, which is why they need a job and a boss saying, get up early or you're fired. It's why they need school, so that their kids will get up early, go to school, and be handled all day so they can go to their job. It's the way that America and the world was structured, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the people who can see past that and see that there are other paths and that it really is successful and possible, assuming that person has the intuition and drive to go ahead and go and start that business, learn about how to flip houses and do real estate, and learn high income skills that school doesn't teach you. That way that you don't need school and you can make money without it. Now, furthermore, let's get into me leaving school. We approached the end of the year, around 2 weeks left. And it's funny because I remember I was thinking am I going to go to finals? I don't even know. I was I already knew in my head I wasn't coming back next year. I hadn't really told anyone. And I told one of the teachers that was really close to me. And I told him, I said, hey, it doesn't look like I'm coming for finals, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna leave school altogether. And I remember he gave me a hug and he was like, Jacob, I totally understand, and I know you're gonna succeed. And that's something that I remember to this day, and something that really hit me at that current moment, seeing someone understood it, right? My parents, thank God, were always pretty supportive of me and understood it, but to see it from someone else was really, really important, and I think I'll always remember that. I left school, and over the summer, I didn't really work much. I handled my dropshipping store, was making probably $5,000 or $10,000 a month gross on it, and just in general had fun with my friends. It was a normal summer, because you gotta understand, yeah, I didn't do finals, but it didn't really feel like I was out of school yet. When it really hit me was when the next year started. When my junior year, or would-be junior year, started. All my friends went back to school, and I just didn't. I remember the first day that they all went back to school, I was just like, wow, I'm just free. And in the beginning, it was hard to be productive. You know, it's just weird being out of school. That first month, I would say, was really weird. And when I really, really shined was when I started watching YouTube and learning and all this kind of stuff and excelling my education, right? Learning outside of school. So although I'm learning, although I'm trying to be as productive as possible, I still wasn't making that much money. And I remember thinking, what if this doesn't work? What am I gonna do in 15 years? Those are all thoughts. You know, I only have probably $5,000 or $10,000 to my name. And these are thoughts in my head. What if this doesn't work? You know, 10 grand, it's a lot of money I have, but you know, in 10 years from now, I'm gonna have friends that have jobs. They're gonna have jobs making $80,000, $100,000 a year. And what if I still have 10 grand to my name? I'll be broke. And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking I'd be a failure. I was thinking I'd be broke. I didn't fully believe in myself. And that was an issue. Your mindset is so crucial, guys. And I remember it really clicked once I just fully believed in myself. And that's when I just started learning, and I didn't care what people think. I didn't care how bad or good I was doing, because I knew eventually I'd make it. Eventually I'd find this one thing that makes me a ton of money, and then I'll find another thing and just stack them up. Passive income, multiple streams of passive income. That's what I was working on, and I kept grinding and kept grinding. And obviously, now 2 years later, end of 2020, I'm definitely shining through, and I'm definitely starting to reach a bunch of the goals that I was dreaming of as I was a freshman and sophomore leaving high school. You know, it's funny, now that I think back, when I was kind of forced to drop out almost. I wasn't even like really scared or hesitant. I was kind of just ready, because especially because it was the end of the year, so summer was about to start. And I remember the first 3 months, like, I felt normal. The big wow moment was when one of my friends told me, yo, I made X amount. And I was just thinking, wow, that's more than like I made this last month. I was like, he's in school and he's making that money. And look at me, I'm just out of school. I'm not making that much money. And that really hit me hard. But right when I got my mindset right, a lot of good things started happening. I had a store hit $40,000 in sales in a month, a $5,000 day. Nowadays, obviously, I'm doing bigger and better stuff, multiple stores, building out real brands and stuff like that. But overall, that's the story of me dropping out of high school and why I had to do it. Just finished supercharging the Tesla, charge it to 75%. I normally only charge it to 75 or 80%. Guys, heading back to the apartment now. Great little video I just filmed. I hope you guys did enjoy it. The story of me dropping out, why and how. Guys, remember, I don't condone dropping out at all. It's really, really risky. I got lucky. Looking back, I honestly probably wouldn't have done it, but hey, I had a feeling, I did it, I dropped out, and it worked out. Thank God. That pretty much wraps it. And that is the story of how and why I dropped out. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment something that I should do in the future, like for YouTube, Q&As, apartment tours, stuff like that. I don't really know what you guys want to see, so definitely let me know. As always, guys, hustle hard, stay productive. Peace the f*** out. I'm gonna go to the beach.